Hello and welcome to Drag Me with me, your host, 𝗬𝗓𝗏 Miller, your lost bisexual friend who doesn't know what she's talking about. Today we're discussing All-Star 7, Episode 9, Dance Like a Drag Queen, and my friends, the queens are officially losing it. And I'm here for it. The Unhinged was on full force this episode, and it's fun. I want more. Give me more Unhinged. Give me more of the queens at their peak weird, okay? I live for this shit. It was really fun to just watch them kind of slowly unravel, mentally, emotionally, and probably physically as well. Okay, so where do we stand? Jada has 3 stars. Everyone else has 2 stars except for Shea and Monet, who both have 1 star and are really feeling the heat. You know what I mean? Raja won last week, so she blocked Jada, which was, of course, the right move because Jada has 3 stars and no one else does. She's in the running to make it to the final 4. Like, she's the biggest threat at this point. Okay, so this week's challenge, they had to make a viral dance for social media for TikTok. We all knew it was TikTok. They just probably can't say TikTok because trademark. Fun fact, if you didn't know this, I was a trademark attorney. Now I'm a family law attorney. Typically, you can't use the trademark of another company because it makes viewers think that they're associated in some way or promoted but in some way or paying for something. So it typically is just best practice to not use the trademark of another company unless you have like purchased a license from them or like have some sort of agreement with them. Otherwise, there could be lawsuits. So we're calling it a social media dance of the generic variety, but it's for TikTok and we all know it. Check out my TikTok. So they have to make this dance and it's supposed to be like their identity in TikTok form. And it was really fun to kind of watch them brainstorm this and plan all of this, and then watching them record it was really cool because I don't know, these girls are just at a different level than season 14 or, you know, a regular season of Drag Race girls, I would assume, typically are. They're just watching them perform in this like giant hangar with this huge backdrop, and they have backup dancers and they've like choreographed and come up with this whole thing. I know it's like a silly, 1-minute thing, but it was really fun to watch them kind of in their element, directing and calling the shots. And it really kind of showcased all of their abilities to like really be stars. Like they really showed up and were able to say like, this is my vision. This is what I want. You do this, you do this. This is what I want to happen. This is how I see it. Let's film it and cut. And it was really fun to see. Also, again, the Unhinged is coming on strong, and it was continuing to come on as they were filming, but it was fun to watch too because I feel like now that they are feeling the pressure, instead of it becoming like tensiony, it's in fact making them just kind of let their guard down a little bit more because they're just so stressed that they're like, whatever, I'm going to show up as myself because I can't put on any sort of front, which I really appreciate. I know I've been kind of asking for more drama, but it still is fun to watch them kind of in their element, but also watch them slowly lose their minds a little bit. I need some element of chaos at almost all times. And so it's fun now that the chaos is starting to really kind of sink in. You know what I mean? Okay, so they film everything and then we go straight to the runway and we don't see the videos until after they've done their runway. And I thought it was interesting the way that they did it. We did the runway and then they went down the line to give their critiques, and as they went down, they had each queen's video and dance play as opposed to kind of playing them all back to back so we can compare them, or so that the judges could compare them. I don't know if they did that because the goal wasn't to compare, but instead to just like judge it by itself, or if they didn't do it because it would have been kind of repetitious and maybe a little boring to just put like 8 TikTok type dances back to back to back. But I mean, it's also like what most of us are doing these days, right? Like we're just sitting around swiping on TikTok. So like 8 back to back is like nothing. I don't know. I thought it was an interesting setup, but I get it. Okay, so let's talk about this runway. Category is what lies beneath. So it was specifically supposed to be a reveal runway, which was really fun. And it was also kind of funny to watch all of these girls walk the runway. They were fucking fighting for their lives up there on stage, just like ripping shit off as fast as they could. Again, the talent with these ladies. Even if I have, differing opinions on who I like and who I don't like, you can't deny that they are like bringing their A game, that they are on another level. And these outfits all proved that, because they all had like 3 different outfits in one runway that they had to tear off their bodies as they walked the catwalk. Like, that's impressive and kind of funny to watch, because they were all just, like I said, fighting for their lives up there. So let's actually take a look at this runway, shall we? Okay, first up we have Shea Coulee in this very like seductive, mid-century, glamorous housewife ensemble, just like absolutely decked out in diamonds. The makeup is stunning. And I feel like, you know, the queens do really good makeup, but it's not common, for me at least, to have the makeup be as big a part of the outfit as the actual clothing is. And for me, her makeup is stunning, and it like creates a whole structure and vibe, and it says something as part of the ensemble. I don't know. The lips are so cool. The eye makeup, the skinny little eyebrows. I don't know. I loved this makeup, and the look was amazing too. First, of course, she comes out in this blue feathered robe, and it reveals to what is that fabric called? Tulle? A tulle sheer robe, which then reveals to a kind of nightgown, and they're all in these varying shades of blue. And like I've said multiple times, I don't love blue, but on her skin tone, it looks really good. Really good. So I think maybe I need to rescind what I've said, and I just don't like blues, like baby blues on like a lighter skin tone, but on hers, stunning. A little weird that the nightgown, like she's not wearing any sort of boobies, and so the nightgown is just kind of gaping up there. Otherwise though, absolutely stunning. And then of course the ass reveal at the end. Dare I say cheeky is how I would describe that. I love it. It's so cool. It's so creative. And the fact that the nightgown has kind of almost this corseting type weaving of a ribbon in the back, plus the ass cutouts, like this outfit for me was fucking brilliant. I loved every minute of it. It was great. All right, next up we have Jada Essence Hall. First she comes out in this kind of blue garment that covers everything. Would we call that a robe? And then her arms come out, and she's got this beautiful like fur hood, and then it pulls down and she spins around, and it reveals to be like springtime and flowers. And then again, she does another reveal, and it's like summer. We got some palm fronds and this really cool hat. Like she even changes headwear during this. And then finally at the end, she's got a long floor length gown in like autumnal colors with like leaves and stuff. And I don't love the color, but like that last dress is probably my least favorite. Just the bottom part is kind of ugly. The colors are weird, but the idea is fantastic, and the execution was so cool. The fact that all of her looks, first of all, there's 4 of them. They had different headwear, and they were all floor-length gowns. That's fucking impressive. That is really cool. So even though like the individual outfits, none of them, except for the summer one with the palm fronds and stuff, are necessarily like my favorite look ever, the whole package, the whole execution is so fucking cool. And her hair looks great. I love a good finger wave. All right, and then we have the Vivian. She comes out in this kind of like, again with the leaves, similar to Jada. She's got a robe that then has leaves on it. She comes out kind of looking like a witch, and then she pulls it down and reveals this like gown like she's a queen. Basically, we were talking a lot about Into the Woods, like it's kind of the whole storyline of Into the Woods. Again with the blue. It's skin tone. It looks so good on Shea. I don't like it. I really don't like this blue on the Vivian, and she has been wearing these blues over and over again. I feel like I am a broken record being like, wow, I hate that color blue on her. Wow, I hate that color blue. But man, she is really leaning into it. This dress is fine. And then the reveal to the pants, I don't know. It didn't do anything for me, frankly. The dress is pretty, but it's very like cartoonish, not in a good way. And then the pants with the boots, I didn't get it. I wanted more of a reveal. I mean, after Jada, after Shea, this felt really lackluster. It just felt like, oh, so you took the skirt off and there were pants underneath it? That's all you got? I don't know. I wanted more and I wasn't impressed. Sorry, I know. I'm always ragging on the Vivian, but Them's the breaks, kids. All right, and then we have Raja, and she comes out in this hideous, and I mean that as a compliment, pink thing with like a pink flamingo on her head, and then she rips it off, and then there's even more pink and orange ruffles underneath, and she has these like super hyper pigmented blush spots on her cheeks, and I don't know what it is, and these hideous tights, and the lips, it looks like she's got like gold speckling on her lips, and then she reveals a bodysuit that looks like a Venus flytrap, but also she had a whole ass wig underneath there too, so she had not only an outfit reveal, but also a wig reveal, and these big giant sleeves. Like, the Venus flytrap part of that outfit didn't really wow me, but something about the rest of it, even though I am someone who does not like busy patterns or busy outfits at all, something about this really fucking worked for me. It's so kooky, and I think the color palette is limited enough that it really works. And she's wearing a fucking flamingo on her head. I don't know. I loved this. It didn't quite like absolutely blow my mind like Shea did, but it's so cool. I love the shoes. I love the little green poofs of like, I don't know, what feathers at the top. It's very Sex in the City. I think this is fierce. All right, and then we have 𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗗𝗡𝗏 doing what 𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗏 does best. She comes out in this weird like stick skirt that she pulls off and then reveals this like green fabric that looks like goo, and it's very impressively done because it looks like goo kind of like melting off of her. It's very weird. And then as she walks, she kind of rips it off. And then she has underneath this bodysuit that's like this weird green and red, and this face mask that like goes in and out. So cool. Okay, and what I've learned, thanks to you guys, is that 𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗏 is Willow Pill's drag mother, drag sister. They don't like to define it as a mother-daughter relationship, apparently. And 𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗏 in her season had some sort of like multiple mask thing. Willow Pill at hers had multiple masks. So this feels, based on that limited knowledge that I've gained recently, that this is a kind of callback, or that it's a theme that they use a lot in that drag family of like intricate masks or like complicated other pieces. And this one moves. Very cool, very impressive. Do I like the outfit? Not really. I don't really love a bodysuit that then just ends at the ankle. I've said this before. It feels like a athletic legging, you know, like it doesn't flow well for me. The colors are weird, and I don't fully understand the concept, if I'm being honest, but that's probably on me. But like, the execution is so fucking cool. The fact that she has this moving mask and that it's like she came out of this stick and then goo, like, I get it. It's cool. It's a cool concept. The final look I didn't love, but the whole overall thing was very weird and very cool. And then we had Jinx Monsoon. This was so cool. This was such an interesting concept to go from Picasso to Monet to like pop art, and then to Glimped. Is that how you say it? Hold on. Glimped. I knew who it was, at least, you know? Glimped. Even though I did go to Vassar College, which is like home of every bi girl that's ever studied art history ever, I did not, in fact, study art history at Vassar. So I apologize for my limited knowledge. But then the pop art dress has her own face on it. It's so good. It's so cool. And each individual outfit, like all the other outfits kind of worked with each other, or like the other pieces kind of peeked out and it played as part of the rest of the outfit. But like, these are each individual separate dresses made to look like pieces of art, and it works. Like, it translated well. This is very impressive. I loved this. And her hair color is starting to grow on me. I don't know what it is, you guys. Like, how did she go from that short pop art dress to the long Klimt dress? How did that happen? And it's the one shoulder. That final dress is absolutely gorgeous. Each piece looks like an individual piece of art. It calls back to like famous art in history. It's smart. It's like a scholarly ensemble. I loved this. I was like endlessly impressed. Every new thing she pulled off, I was like, which someone I think commented once that is apparently a gay gasp, right? So that's what I did. I did a lot of those as she revealed, and she looked so good. And the final look, again, with that hair color that I've been hating this whole time, works really well with that dress. And I love the cut of the wig as well, like the curl, the shape. It's so glamorous. It's so like cheeky 1930s. I don't know. This really worked for me. I loved this. All right, and then we have Monet Exchange. First, she comes out as kind of like a Harriet Tubman, and then a Black Panther, and then reveals a long dress, again, with the short dress revealing into a long dress will endlessly be impressive to me. Long dress that says, "And still we fight," and has a lock on it that she rips off. Like, the imagery and the message is really important and really cool. The execution feels like a little too on the nose and obvious, like there's not much subtlety to it, which with art I tend to enjoy a slightly more subtle thing. But someone did comment on here, like, if you were looking for subtle, you're watching the wrong show, which is fair. The message is great. I think that the outfits look really cool. The fact that that last outfit is like all sequins. The Black Panther dress is really cool. And the fact that she hid all that leather underneath the initial like Harriet Tubman looking outfit, very impressive. So overall, the concept's really cool. I like that she's trying to also like have a message with her drag. I think that maybe RuPaul commented this, or someone commented that like drag is inherently an art. It is inherently a protest. It is something that like, it's so cool to combine drag with making a statement and sending a message. And so it's really powerful that she did that, you know, on stage. Well, I don't even know how many people watch this show. Hundreds of thousands, I assume. Millions? Maybe not millions. Hundreds of thousands of people are watching along. That's really cool. You know, while it wasn't artistically like my favorite look of the night, I get the concept, I get the idea, and I appreciate it. And she looks gorgeous. All right, and then we got Trinity the Tuck, again with the same shape of dress. She did this last week where it's like, I don't know what it's called, but you've got boobs and then hips, and then it flares out at the bottom all the way around. It's not a train, but it's close. And we know how she feels about trains, but it looks gorgeous. It looks like a flower. Every piece of it looks like a flower, and then she's got flowers, and then she rips off flowers, and it's got that hip detailing that I love. It's gorgeous. It's really cool. Like the concept, the color palette, clearly it's really intricately made. I don't know if she makes all of her outfits, but like this is gorgeous. She's got gloves again. You know how I feel about gloves. And then, you know, she strips down to pretty much nothing, which I feel like these girls, I think maybe I got used to season 14 where we had like Bosco, who was just always in like one strap and that was it. I feel like these queens don't often strip all the way down. So it was kind of a fun new thing to see her just go from like full on gown to, you know, tiny little skimpy thing. It was very burlesque. It did remind me, honestly, of Bosco from season 14. She did a kind of burlesque type thing, I think, for the first challenge. I don't know why I remember that so well. Usually I don't remember these things. So it felt like that, which was cool, but this is like next level. It's so gorgeous. The detailing is unreal. Really, really gorgeous. Ooh, I liked that one. Someone asked me to always give my top person on the runway. So let me give you what I actually think is my favorite. God, these were all really good. I will say I really, really enjoyed this runway. So my top three are Shea, Jinx, and Trinity the Tuck. Honestly, I think Shea is, for me, my favorite this week, which I think last week I also said that Shea kind of got robbed. Maybe that was 2 weeks ago. No, that was last week. It's not as complex as the other girls, which is, I think, a valid criticism. Like, the other girls were whipping entire dresses and changing into multiple floor-length gowns over and over again. But I don't know, something about the look, the color, the makeup, and that assless gown really fucking got me. I think Shea's my winner for this runway. Robbed again, I see. Okay, so we watch this runway and then we go down the row and we watch each queen's new dance that they've made up to go viral on social media, on TikTok, okay? So first we have Shea. Again, I loved this dance. I think she did great. I thought it was funny. I think it was a dance that could actually go viral on TikTok. I think that she looked amazing. It was fun. Like, I loved this. I'm just realizing now that Shea was robbed this week as I'm going through this, and I'm getting mad. She did great. Okay, and then we have Jada. Her intro is really funny. Like, she's a funny queen. She's got just a fun vibe. The way she talks is funny. However, the dance itself, pretty lackluster. Shea's was much more believable as something that could actually go viral, you know? The actual final product for Jada didn't do much for me. Okay, then we have the Vivian. She has this introduction where she talks about the Vivio, and repeats herself, and that was funny. That gave me a good chuckle, and then the rest, it's too slapstick for me. I've talked about this before. The Vivian's humor, it's too slapstick, the like overdone rolling around. Like, I don't know, it's not funny to me. It truly didn't do much for me. The intro was funny. The actual dance, I don't know. It was fun to watch when they were showing footage of her actually filming it. Like, it looked like she had a good time. It looked like they were all having a lot of fun. So that's nice. But like the final product really didn't do much for me. Raja's dance was like, you know, it was cute, but it wasn't very funny. The dance itself was kind of lackluster. I don't know. Raja did not shine for me this week. Even though I did like her outfits on the runway, like overall she wasn't standout. Evie's dance, I loved it. It was weird, it was absurd, it was funny, fruit snacks under the bed, just another Jehovah's Witness. There were some good, funny lines in there, and then the dance itself was just absurd and over the top in a way that worked for me. It was funny, and it was kooky, and it was, like the judges said, something that could only come out of 𝗣𝗢𝗡𝗏𝗄's head, and I mean that in a good way. I really, really liked Evie's. Jinx, I also loved. The intro was really funny. Like, she knows her vibe. She knows what she's doing. The outfit looked great. I had a good laugh. And then the dance itself was stupid. As we know, RuPaul loves stupid. I thought it was great. I loved the stupid. It was dumb, but it was funny. Like, she leaned into the stupid in a way that was really fun to watch. Okay, and then we have Monet. She did the, like, Monet, money dance, which I thought was really clever. I thought it was funny. It was interesting because it was the idea that was just given to her by RuPaul. Like, the way that she was describing what her plan was before Ru's idea sounded completely different and not very good. And then Ru was like, what about money? Like, she kind of just like was fed this idea and then ran with it. And look, she did make the point, like, I've learned that when Ru gives you an idea, you take the advice and you run with it, and she did, and it paid off in the end. And I think she's right. Like, there have been queens in the couple seasons that I've watched who have gotten advice from Ru and then not listened to it, and it's been not great. So she did that and it paid off, but I was kind of like, yeah, that was all just Ru's idea. But the dance itself, really believable, like, as a TikTok viral dance. It was clever, like, it was good. And the way that it was edited, again, like, I knew right as I was watching it, even though, like, the video itself didn't necessarily stand out to me above others that I thought were better of the dances, like, the way it was edited, I knew right away, like, okay, Monet's gonna be one of the winners this week, because, like, they just over edit the cackles and the laughter and, like, the oohs and ahs, and, you know, you can really tell when they're really trying to build someone up to justify why they won that week. So it was funny, it was well done, it was RuPaul's idea. Just saying. Okay, and then we have Trinity The Tuck, and she kept yelling, I live, and it was funny, and it made me laugh, and I thought it was good. The dance itself was really lackluster, but Trinity The Tuck is a funny bitch, all right? She's multi-talented, okay? Gave me a laugh. Okay, so those were the viral dances. Again, Shea was a standout for me, and Jinx was a standout for me. Those were the two that I really liked. Evie also stood out. I think, honestly, of those three, Evie was probably my favorite because it was the weirdest. But Jinx's was also really funny. It's a tie between Jinx and Evie. But I think Shea's was also a standout, and I want to acknowledge that I thought Shea's runway and Shea's maxi challenge both were really great, and I did not feel the same way about my Monet Exchange. And yet, we find out that Jinx and Monet are the winners for the week. I'm excited about Jinx. I love Jinx. I'm a huge Jinx fan, newly formed from this season. Monet was fine. I thought it was lackluster. Both her and Shea didn't have stars, so either of them could have won this week. And Shea, I felt, deserved it more. There, I said it. Shea just keeps getting robbed week after week, and she doesn't deserve it. Okay, and then the lip sync that Jinx and Monet had to do was a spoken word, like, acting out of a scene. which I thought was so funny and campy. I need to get out to more drag shows. Do drag queens do that regularly? Because I really liked it. I thought it was funny. Campy, funny. I loved it. The vibe was very Jinx, and yet Monet stood out. She shone during that lip sync. I could not keep my eyes off of her. I don't know if it's because I really liked her outfit, her facial expressions, her whole vibe. I don't know what she was doing, but like I couldn't keep my eyes off her. Maybe that was the editing as well, but like she really nailed it. Jinx also did great, but like I could tell as we were watching, like, okay, Monet is like very much standing out right now. She looks great. So Monet wins the lip sync. She gets another star. Now everyone has 2 stars. Jada and Jinx have 3 stars, and Shea somehow still only has 1 star. Justice for Shea. Justice for 𝗟𝗘𝗘𝗡𝗡𝗅. Okay, so Monet wins and she gets the opportunity to block a fellow queen, and she blocks Raja. I don't know that I would have made that choice. Raja's the only one that hasn't been blocked yet. So like, again, Raja's always kind of the odd man out during these things. And maybe it was just like, it was her turn to get blocked or something. But like, I wouldn't have used my block on Raja. I would have used it. I don't know who I would have used it on, because now that I'm thinking through strategy, like Jinx and Jada both have 3 and there are 2 challenges left. Is that right? So at this point, like there's the potential that they're already ahead far enough that they'll make it. And so blocking queens with fewer stars might actually be a better strategy to like ensure that they stay at the bottom. So maybe Raja was a good strategy. Now I'm questioning everything. Are there really only 2 episodes left? Yeah. There's 12 total, and the 12th is the finale, so there's 10 and 11, and this is episode 9. Math. So that means there's 4 stars left for people to get. Wow, I'm really at the edge of my seat. Things are really starting to heat up. I hope next week is equally as unhinged as this week was. I had a lot of fun watching that. I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me today. Reminder, if you're watching on YouTube, that you can also listen to this in podcast form in case you're a person on the go and you don't have time to watch a video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to hear more from me. I've been hearing a lot of people asking me to do reviews of old seasons of Drag Race, and I am seriously considering it. So if you subscribe, you'll obviously get updates for if and when that happens. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.